Hello, I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Saturday, February 26th. Oh my goodness. February 21st, 2026. And I'm streaming to you live. I want to talk about unlocking your potential. It's a subject that's near and dear to my heart because it's something that I'm trying to do by testing myself on every Saturday to show you what's possible when you put your mind to it. And I have a little example that I want to share. And it's this 9-year-old boy kept getting in trouble for doodling in class until a restaurant hired him to decorate their wall. And you can see here the smile on his face, and look at the doodle he did. And this rings a special place in my heart. And reason being, because everyone has the potential to achieve greatness. But only a small percentage actually will. And it's not because they're more talented. Most people never find the environment that lets them bloom. Or they never give themselves permission to search for it. Because success isn't a personality trait, it's a set of conditions. And the biggest variable is whether you ever find your thing and the place that nurtures it. Start a new hobby. Try something monthly. Read outside your lane. Switch roles and industries. Embrace failure as learning. Most people in different worlds travel and experience new cultures. Audit what brings you joy and fulfillment. Stay near people who challenge and support you. Success isn't one size fits all. It's potential. It's the intersection of passion, skill, opportunity. So yes, be proactive. Seek the rooms that stretch you. And if you're a leader, build those rooms for other people. Because the real flex isn't your success. It's how many people you help unlock theirs. And I commented on this post here. I said, this kid can doodle on my RC car body anytime. I did the same myself, which in my mind requires lots of mental focus and clarity, which this kid was being deprived of. If you are seeking ways to increase your mental focus and clarity, let it be known that there is an option for you. Find out how you can increase it, along with 5 other benefits that come along for the ride. I'm planning to test it again today. I wrote this morning, by demonstrating what is possible when you do, and it can help keep you out of the hospital. They always say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what about something that you also overlook? I did, but no longer, and I prove it. Catch Y in the live streams that I do every day. I say this as I woke up so refreshed this morning, February 21st, 2026, after a grueling day yesterday. So, the body is right here that I have. See, it's the same one that you see in the picture. I doodled on this many years ago, and I painted it because I wanted to do something different. And when I saw this post, I thought, oh, this is partially me. to doodle myself. Will I do it again? Yeah, I think so. I have some other bodies that I'm going to doodle on that are clear, unpainted. But also, I wanted to debrief what I did yesterday. Because, yes, I like this picture as well. Because which one would you choose if you had the choice? I know what I would choose. It's not the palm full of the pills on the right. I'd go for the one on the left. And speaking of left, I have this here, which I started using. This is the X49, and I'm going to place it right here and see what it does for yours truly today in achieving and unlocking my potential to reach the goal that I want to reach, which, if you've been following for any period of time, you'll know that I share this log where you can go online and you can look at where my progress has been to change or just test myself, because I benchmark against myself and only myself. And I think it's important that if you're doing the same, that you try it yourself and see how you're progressing. Because if you want to unlock your performance or your bioenergy, what I call it, or unlocking your health and longevity, you kind of have to take the steps yourself, because only you can do it. I can only help motivate you and guide you. And my way of doing that is by testing myself. And with that, you see here the I'm just gonna scroll this up here so you can see here, and the at the bottom of the web of the page here, you can see last week we're here 60.5. That was on February 14th. I almost got the 250 skips in 68 seconds. I was so close that I was, after when I saw it, I was disappointed, because I've been trying for weeks, and I tried a little bit of a different strategy to attempt this, and my goal of getting that was so close. And I'm wondering if the addition of the X49, which you see me wearing right here, see, X49, will give me that extra boost, because I can sense is the right word, the activation of the AHK-CU peptide from these patches. Much like how I've described the X39 does, which I wear here. This patch, when I put it on this morning, I reused it before, and I just picked one that I attached to some plastic bags that I've shown in a previous episode a long time ago. And I put it on, and within 10 minutes, I could sense the activation of the peptide, of the GHK-CU. And when I talk about, smelling burnt toast, but I'm not smelling it, but that's that sensation or that ability that you have, that's, for me, is how I know it works. And that biochemical process is being turned on, and I can sense it. I can smell it. And the same happens when I put the X49, which is for the AHK-CU peptide. And I can smell it. day number 1, when I did it earlier this week on Monday, which was February, what day was it? February 16th. It was very, very pronounced for me. And when I tried to explain this sensation with the GHKCU, which from the X39, I didn't know how to explain it. But it was very apparent on Monday, because I debriefed that on Tuesday. So someone wrote on LinkedIn, they said, "Oh, you got to be careful when you're saying something like that." And I'm thinking, what? What is there to be careful about when there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise that it's actually happening? Nothing you can say to convince me. Because I can sense it. I can smell it. I question that, because it makes me... you're not going to second guess me. Mm-mm. And when I drink what I call the cleanest and most absorbable water, which is deuterium free with a hydrogen bond angle of 114 degrees, is this the reason why I'm smelling the activation of the peptide? If you were to go back and look at the heart rate results from yesterday's Feel It Friday session, where I'll show you. Here. So this is the log of the fitness, but here is the record from yesterday, which after watching the replay, I knew it was a tough workout, because it was the first time ever where I saw consecutive queens in the round of each round. And back on, I think it was the 30th, I had 2. Or was it here? No, 3. So on February 8th, there was 3 in a row. And after shuffling the cards yesterday, it ended up being 4. First time ever. And here I had 8, 10, 7, and 9, 8, 10, and 7 in the first round of queens. And then 6, 10, 8, and 10. So for a total of 111 push-ups yesterday. And actually, my overall time was quite good at 19:37. And when I think back to yesterday, I was also wearing the X49, and did that help with me getting through the round of the queens? And I think so, because when I was done, I could sense the smell, and I know I was getting the activation, even though I've worn this now 4 separate times, but not all at like for 12-hour periods. It's only been 4 occasions of wearing it for 30 minutes. So am I getting the value of the patch? Am I stretching it in terms of its use? Yes, I'm trying to, by demonstrating to you that I think that, if you do buy a package, will it last? And I think so. Now, the technology, can it be reused? I can tell you firsthand, I'm reusing it. But is it in my best interest to be saying, oh, you should wear a single patch every single day? Well, I make more money if you buy it and you keep buying it. But not everybody has the disposable income to do that. So if you were to buy a patch and stretch it out, can you do that? I think you can. I think it's safe to say. Now, is there a limitation to how much you can reuse them? I think so. I do think so. Okay, I can smell now the activation from the X49. I can smell it. It's come on now pretty strong. It's distinct, and then that's how I know. And yeah, it's got to be in combination with the water, because the water is the energy source for the peptide. You need to have the hydrogen, and it should be the cleanest and most absorbable version of it. And is there something about this water? I think so, because I will say it over and over and over again that I never saw heart rates until I started drinking this water the way they are. Over 200, I never saw it. Never once. And I hit 215 beats per minute on, not yesterday, day before. And that's because I was holding my breath. If I had the VO2 max equipment, I would show you and you would see it. You would know. But if you listen closely, like if you can hear now, you can hear water. I'm making more of this. You hear it? Okay. If you listen closely enough to my breathing, when I'm skipping, I try to, how would you say, deliberately record that so then I myself can hear the changes. Then you can see, you can hear it when I'm breathing, how my body's reacting to the I guess the tension and you know, the stress I'm putting it through. Am I doing it intentionally? Yes, I am. Does it push my heart rate up? Yes, it does. And does it come right down when I start breathing? Yes, it does. Just as it did on Thursday. So do I need the equipment to prove it to you? Well, no, but would it be a visual? Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? If you can actually see what my VO2 numbers are. And if I were to compare it against the chart that I showed recently as well, you know, where it was a certain, I can't remember, like grams per whatever it was, the scale that was being used. But with that, am I excited about today? You bet. And before I begin, make sure that you explore the benefits by visiting Unlock Your Bioenergy. You see the button there at the top, how to use light technology and studies. If you were to scan not this QR code right there, it'll take you to unlockyourbioenergy.godaddysites.com, where you can find this webpage and then see where all the benefits are in the studies associated with that. And when you are ready to make a purchase of your very first package of X39 and X49, click on the description that you find in this video or scan the QR code and it'll take you to the shop where you can place your order, as I am a brand partner with the company. And with that, let's warm up. I'm going to do a 10-minute HIIT. I'm going to set the tempo at 165. So when you see the camera, or not the camera, the timer change color. All right. 10-minute HIIT. Let's begin. Nice and tied. And then after the 10-minute HIIT, I will be doing the fitness stress test. That's where I will take the other rope that I've been using now for the test itself, that I compare against 2018 was the very first time I have an actual recording of it, which is in the log. Okay. So this is the pace that I skipped at yesterday for the Feel It Friday. It's a brisk pace. All right, so when you see the timer go fully green, it's when it's the high intensity portion of it. So you can take a breather or slow the pace right down like as I am. And then match the 165. 3, 2, 1. All right. So working those high knees. If you want to get faster at running, How good is your coordination? I can go even faster with the crisscross. We'll try it with the last round. See how quick I can go. Feels really good. All right, 10 minutes is up. Just gonna pause the metronome for a brief moment here. So even though I have a heart rate of 140, it doesn't. I don't feel like it's my breathing rate has to be that high. You can probably just tell. So the rope that I'm going to use for the fitness stress test is going to be the same one that I've always been using. I'm going to show you here. It's got that kink in it. So that's how you know. I will also wear the Mustang cowboy hat. It's kind of my thing, so that way I can not look at the screen that's in front of me. And the goal today is try to get the 62 and a half 4-second sequences. So meaning, you know, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you hear that beat, that's what I want to do. I'm just going to grab some more deuterium-free water. And just have some more here. All right. So with the stress test, just going to change the screen here. I will set the metronome. There we go. Oh, and it doesn't like that. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to set the metronome for 212. No, 221. 221 beats per minute, which equates to 3.67. 3.6765 revolutions per second. So that's when you're skipping at that, or you know, moving the rope at that speed, that's 3.67. So the goal is to get, when you hear the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So you're getting 62 and a half of those 4-second or 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it makes it easy to count if you're watching. The tempo, I'm going to try not to count the number of reps, at least maybe for 30 seconds or so. That's somehow, some way, I when I did the test last week, I didn't count. I just kept going, and when I hit the 30 mark, I actually went like, or I made a noise in last week's replay, and not realizing it was 30, it actually was. So it seemed like my body knows. Or, you know, even though I'm not counting it, it's interesting how it happened that way. So, you know, does wearing the X49 today, as you see here, is it gonna help me reach that goal of 62 and a half? That is the question mark. I guess I can smell the activation of the peptide in my body, along with the GHK-Cu. This one here does the AHK-Cu. Just waiting for the water to absorb a little bit, so that way it populates the cells. And that'll go directly into my bloodstream, because the water doesn't need to be, how would you say, processed or broken down per se. Only needs to be the hydrogen and the oxygen to be separated, which, because of the bond angle of the water, it happens really quick. And if you used it for topical applications, such as soaking your feet, let's say, okay, heart rate there, you can use it for that as well. So, you know, if you're doing foot baths and so forth, I recommend using the water, because, well, for one, you don't want to be using tap water when you're doing those foot baths, because then you don't know if if the things turn dirty, you know, then you have a lot of extra toxins in your body. But if you know, you should use it with distilled water, at least at a minimum, when you're doing those foot baths with the we call it the ionic activator or something. You know, that little circular device that puts in the middle of the foot bath. So, you know, you don't want to be using dirty water, because that is separating. It's kind of like electrolysis. So it could be just the water that you're putting your feet in. Like, I'm just saying. And you don't know until you run the water through the process of electrolysis, because it separates what's in it. It's much like if you make ice, you know, and you see the calcium, it turns white when it's frozen, because it's not moving inside the liquid. You know, and when the darker it is, then, you know, I'm just saying, because when I make ice with deuterium-free water, it's crystal clear. Clear. There's no white. Not a shade of white. That's how water should be, crystal clear. Just saying. Can you imagine if you gave this water to horses? How fast they would start running? I'll tell you, if I was a chuck wagon guy, that's what I would be giving my animals. 100%. Could that be a secret? Well, this Mustang right here, showing you that I ain't a fluke, and I am as real as a heart attack. Are you ready to see what's going to happen? I'm excited today. My body's kind of tingling in a good way. So I'm going to change the view. I was thinking about doing the hang, but then I'm going to inadvertently, you know, put stress on my forearms, which I don't want to really be doing this early in this test. So all right, it's been a few minutes. What I will do, like I did last week, was to not squeeze the heck out of the handles. So I'm going to hold like a loose grip, and doing so, it will help with just keeping my body and my arms a little more relaxed. And that helped last week when I nearly got the 250. So maybe I'll just count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just moving this wire out of the way here. I feel like it's going to distract me. Hitting the post beside me. Just kind of feeling which way I want to hold this rope, because it feels different already this way. Make a decision what I'm going to do. I feel a little bit of a okay, I know what I'm going to do. Because of where this kink is and how I hold my hands, one is slightly lower than the other, and it affects how this kink hits the ground, and I can feel it in the rope ever so slightly, believe it or not, especially holding it loosely. Curls a little bit, the rope in front of me. Okay, I think I'm getting ready now. Yeah. I smell the AHK CU peptide. I can smell it. Heart rate's up. Okay. Just feels like I'm psyching myself out. And I just want to be relaxed. I know it's getting close. Wow. I started counting late when it started to hurt. When it was starting to hurt, I started counting. Maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know how it's going to be, but I think what I'll do is just do a hang test here with the It certainly does feel like a lot, especially when you start getting to the latter stage. Alright, so what I'm going to do is reduce the timer or the metronome down to 60 beats per minute to help count. So, you know, I could use a count this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or no. 2, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you know, like, can count it that way, you know, to 68, but then I don't know if I'm skipping at the 221 pace. That pace starts getting at 3.67 revolutions per second. It's pretty quick. And can I do 4 revolutions? Oh yeah, pretty sure I can. But I want to see how many I can do, or how high. What's the highest RPS that I can do for 256 or 250 skips? Alright, so last but not least. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. My grip just starts to give. Wow. Whew. All right, so do a quick debrief of heart rate. So half an hour session today. Not all filled with movement, by all means. So today's date stamp, you'll see there February 21st, 2026. Starting time was at 1:12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And the, okay. For the stress test, I didn't even hit 162, so you can see I wasn't in 163 long enough, even though it says I was there. Probably needs to be one number higher in order for it to register there. So for the warm-up, you can see my heart rate lingered around 135, 140-ish, somewhere there. Peaked a little bit every so often. Dropped right back down, recovered almost all the way back down to, I don't know, 65 beats per minute. And then did kind of a warm up there to see, I probably should have saved some of that energy that I was using during the warm up and just started the test. And you can see there how my heart rate just peaked. Kind of tapered off there for a while where I was comfortable, maybe around the 30-second mark. And then when it starts to get in the 50 zone, that's when I can start to feel it. And that's where I started counting. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to get this. And I'm crossing my fingers that I got it today. And if so, then it proves to me that the X49 helped me reach that goal. But I have to watch the replay back in order to really know. So if you're watching it before I figure it out, comment below and let me know if you counted 62.5 to reach that 250 skips. I'd be curious, because like I said before, it's a difficult test. It really tests your forearm and your arm strength, and I can feel how, I'm keeping my body fat down. And when I talk about creatine monohydrate being, I think it's a dirty little secret. I think it is. So all you need is your salt. Sorry. Stop spending your money on creatine monohydrate, because somebody's losing money. And then they got to generate money somehow. And if they can make a killing off of making salt, and all you need to do is just a pinch every morning, and maybe save your money and get some cleanest and most absorbable water, and reap the benefits like I am with that. You see, that says lots, right? Like, I'm just saying, that's why I think it's a dirty little secret, because how is it that I'm just eating, 20 to 30 grams of protein a day on average, and yet I still am keeping my muscle. If I ate more, would I put on more? Yeah, but do I need to have all the extra muscle? No, because I still want to be able to do stuff with it. And if I can't do the Feel It Friday workout faster because I'm too heavy, well, then that's a different story. But when you're building posterior chain strength and also the front chain, you want to have balance, right? So am I working on creating that balance? You bet. And I do that with a vibration plate 4 days a week. I do 4. 5 day, the 5th day is the Feel It Friday workout, so it's away from the vibration plate altogether. And then day 6 is doing just what you saw today. So that's my routine, and it works for me. Can it work for you? Try it. And then try the X39. This is easier to get as opposed to the water, because the water you have to make it. There's no other way around it. And you need to have that heating and cooling process. If you want to learn about it, watch the video I posted titled Health Benefits of Drinking Deuterium-Free Water. And you'll see. It works for me. Can it work for you and your family? I think so, because I'm seeing it in my family. And if you want to be part of my family and get the water from me, type below and I'll see what I can do to help you. All right, that's it for today. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Tune in on Monday. I'm taking the day off tomorrow, and for Move It Monday workout. We'll see you then. Bye.